It's been a minute. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Miguel, and it's safe to say I'm pretty obsessed with personal finance and just a little bit with fitness as well. But the actual main reason that I started this YouTube channel was to document my journey on building a passive income portfolio. So it's only right after a 9-month hiatus to show you guys how much my passive income portfolio made me in 2023. Before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that does help me so much. By hopping into my portfolio, as we can see on the day, I'm up 0.21% or $57. On the week, I'm up 1% or $320. On the month, I'm up 2% or $617. On the 3 months, I'm up 13% or $3,000. Year to date, which we're only a month into the year, I'm up 2% or $500. On the past year, I was actually up $2,755.49, or about 11%, which is okay because the S&P did, I think, 16%. But you got to remember, I'm also getting paid 4% in dividends. And the entire point of this portfolio is for passive income. My other portfolio, my Roth IRA, is made up of only ETFs like VOO and BTI. So that's why I'm comfortable with not getting as much growth back, but I am concerned about getting that return back in passive income. As we can see on the all-time, I'm up 22% or $5,062.16. That's from the last 3 years of building this portfolio up. You can go back on my channel and look at my first $1,000 investment into this portfolio, which is pretty cool. So to be up 22% or about $5,000 in the past 3 years, that's not too bad. Before we go over all the payments that I got over the last 9 months, I do want to preface this by saying the reason I stopped making videos over the last 9 months is because I jumped into my career. So for those that don't follow me on TikTok, I am actually a teacher. And before this last school year started, I was actually part-time at a school. I was actually offered a full-time position, so I jumped into that position. It just consumed a lot of my time. Not only was I the head soccer coach, I was the head cross-country coach, and I was teaching science and physical education at my school. So I just wanted to set up my routine and my schedule and actually get the hang of things before I jumped back into YouTube, although I did post on TikTok pretty consistently. YouTube just does take a lot more time, but for those that stayed subscribed not only to my YouTube but also over on TikTok, I really appreciate it. Hopefully this means I'm going back to my normal schedule of posting at least once a week, not only for finance but for fitness as well. And a little side note, when I was working at my school before the school that I'm working at right now, I was barely getting paid like above minimum wage. So I could barely invest any money into the stock market. And that was actually pretty hard for me mentally because not only was I not able to hit my goals, but I did lose out on a lot of gains. So that's why from the year 2021 to 2022, there wasn't much gains. There were still some gains, but there wasn't much, or at least what I hoped for. But now that I'm in my career making a solid income, I can definitely get back on track. And according to my calculations, I'll hit $100,000 in about 4.5 years. So I'm really excited for that, but that's why there's a huge difference between 2021, 2022, and 2023. It's a little bit embarrassing, but honestly, that's life. I had to sacrifice a lot to get to my career job that I'm at right now, and I can finally say that it's starting to feel worth it. So my last video was in April where I did update you on my April passive income. So let's go from May all the way to November, then let's do December a little bit different. Starting off in June, I made a total of $54.09. That's actually a decent jump up from May of 2022. That's about give or take $17. But again, if you look from 2021 in May to 2022 in May, it's actually like a $22, $23 jump. It's still fantastic that it's consistently going up. But again, it did hurt me that I was at my job where I was barely making above minimum wage. Hopefully May of this year, 2024, is going to be way better. August, I made $71.31. And this is where you really start to see where there's not huge jumps in my portfolio growth. I only made $71.31 in August of 2023 versus $70.94 in August of 2022. Literally less than $1 increase compared to the $30 increase from 2021 to 2022. Moving on to September of 2023, I made $59.23. This was when I started to see a difference in actually how I was investing after I got my career job and I was actually able to start putting more money into my portfolio. So that felt really nice. Moving on to October of 2023, I made $55.47 compared to $48.53 from 2022. Another decent increase, but we almost doubled from 2021 to 2022. Again, keeping on track. As long as we're moving in the right direction, I'm more than happy. Moving on to November of 2023, I made $84.99 compared to $72.22 in 2022. Again, another decent increase, and I'm slowly starting to see the effects of investing $200 every single week versus the $100 that I was able to invest from 2020 all the way to 2022. That's another thing that changed. I was actually able to invest $200, and now in 2024, I'm actually able to invest $250 every single week. So all that time when I was working that job, that was actually hurting me financially. In the long run, it is going to pay off because I'm able to actually now invest way more money than I was before. So let's hop into all the payments that I got from December of 2023. In December of 2023, I got a total of 17 dividend payments, with the first one being from Ford. I made $2.11. Ford has recently been going up, and I think I am going to sell my position in Ford. I bought it way back in 2020. I haven't added to this position because I have been negative, and they actually did cut their dividend and then reinstate it and then cut it again. But again, this is a dividend passive income portfolio, and Ford is just not cutting it. The second dividend payment that I got was from Johnson & Johnson. I made $8 $8.11. Johnson & Johnson is a position that I have been increasing slowly over time. Towards August and September of 2023, I was buying into Johnson & Johnson pretty heavily. They went from about 2% of my portfolio to now about 5 or 6%. The only two healthcare stocks that I have is Johnson & Johnson and MRK. I'm actually thinking about adding AbbVie in there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about AbbVie. And I've been looking at getting them for years. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, and especially because their price looks pretty high right now. The next dividend payment that I got was from Target. I made $12.21. I'm down on Target overall like $600 right now. I bought into them about a year and a half ago when they were at their almost all-time high. And I think I'm just going to write out Target because they are paying great dividends. They haven't cut their dividend yield. And I think they will return to their fair market value. Not for a while though, but I am going to hold on because I want to get probably a break-even price for them. The next dividend payment that I got was from AG&C. I made $1.74. AG&C along with Prospect Capital are stocks in my portfolio that I bought into back in 2020. I'm a little bit negative with AG&C, but in the long term, I think with the passive income that I've gotten from them, I'm probably just flat out even. And I honestly just keep forgetting that this is in my portfolio and to sell it. I actually got my last dividend payment from Takeda Pharmaceuticals. They paid $6.25. This was a stock that actually ended up cutting their dividend, and so I have absolutely no reason to have them in my portfolio. The next payment that I got was from Microsoft. I made $4.84. Microsoft is the first stock in my portfolio to hit $1,000. I'm up overall with Microsoft like 55% or something crazy like that. And again, that's just consistently investing into them over time. The next dividend payment that I got was from General Motors. I made 21 cents. They're trickling up towards my break-even price, and I'm going to sell them along with Ford just because I don't believe in them long-term. They constantly go up and down and play with their dividends, so I'm just going to get out of the automotive section completely. The next dividend payment that I got was from Realty Income. I made $5.81. I am buying even more Realty Income as we speak. My average price is about $55 right now. I believe that Realty Income is a buy under $60. Their dividend history speaks for themselves, and they're on their way to becoming dividend kings, so I have no problem with buying more of them while they're under that share price of $60. Moving on to my next dividend payment was Main Street Capital. I made $2.69. Main Street Capital along with Prospect Capital that paid me $1.58. Those are stocks that I first bought into back in 2020 that I do believe in Main Street Capital still. I'm actually going to hold Main Street Capital. But like I said earlier, Prospect Capital is just a stock in my portfolio like AG&C. I just don't believe in them anymore. They're high yield dividend stocks. I just don't believe that's quality income anymore. The next two dividend payments that I got were from my ETFs. PEY paid me $1.32 and SPHD paid me $9.43. I always get a lot of hate for SPHD and not SCHD. While yes, SCHD does give you a greater return over time, I still believe in SPHD. They have a very similar expense ratio, and although it doesn't return as much as SCHD, again, I'm looking for passive income. What I don't get at capital gains, I get through passive income. And that's what I want in my portfolio, to consistently give me passive income every single month versus SCHD pays you quarterly and they pay you less of a dividend and give you more of a return. The next dividend payment that I got was from Main Street Capital. They paid me $3.15. I just noticed I got paid twice from Main Street Capital in the month of December. And I honestly have no idea why, but passive income is passive income. The next and last dividend payment that I got was from Pembina. They paid me $5.70. I've honestly been neglecting all of my energy and my pharmaceutical companies besides Johnson & Johnson. And as a dividend investor, it's pretty hard to mess with your average cost base, but don't be afraid to dollar cost average into the market, because that person that dollar cost averages in consistently every single week, they are going to end up better than like 90% of portfolios out there. That means in December, I made $84.75 in passive income. And that brings my grand total for the year of 2023 to $777.46. That is my biggest year yet. That's about $150 more than last year. And I'm hoping every single year I increase it by $300 or $400. That would be amazing. So for the entire lifespan of my portfolio, I have made $1,702.60. If you add that on top of my all-time games, that gives me an extra 7 to 8%. So really my entire portfolio has generated me anywhere from 23% all the way up to 27%. And that's not too bad for this full-time teacher that just wants to build passive income. Now, where does this new update in life leave me? I'm going to continue to grow my social media because that's actually another great form of income. My TikTok has finally gotten to the point where it's been able to generate me consistent income every single month, and I'm hopefully going to build up my YouTube to do the same exact thing. There is a caveat though. I am actually on a mission to pay off $50,000 of student loan debt. And notice I say $50,000 because I had $52,000 where actually I used my last TikTok paycheck to pay off one of my student loans, which was $2,000. So we're already starting off in a great position, and I want to bring you guys along for the journey. I had never felt more love and support through TikTok and through my YouTube channel, even when I wasn't posting. So that's where my YouTube channel is going for the future. My goal for my personal finance portfolio is actually to get to $100,000, which should be in less than 3 years, which should be in less than 4.5 years. Hopefully I can make more money through social media so I can build this portfolio up even faster. I'm trying to just expand my mind and think way past what is even possible, because I didn't even think I could make $1 off social media, yet here I am 3 years later actually making $2,000 a month. I didn't think I would ever be in this position, but if you allow me, I want to share my entire journey with y'all. So don't forget to subscribe, leave suggestions for me for my new stocks down below, and then like the video because it helps out this teacher a lot.